Hi everyone, for script number 14, we'll work on a script that will take in an array of ports, and then it will provide feedback whether or not those ports are open or closed. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to create a usage message. Usage is going to be this script, and then followed by port, let's say 48053, something like that. So then we'll use an if statement here. So if the number of input provided is 0, we will say that we'll echo out actually the usage here. And then we'll also exit with 1. Close this if statement, and then if a list is provided, then we'll loop through the ports. So we will use ss tln. Then we'll use the awk utility. It'll print fourth field. And then we'll use grep to find if the port is open or not. So if the port is showing up, then it's open. So this will be port. And then we'll put in an echo statement here. That'll say port open, or it'll say echo closed. And we'll close this for loop here. Just to show you, so what we can do is we can do, let's say, we can copy paste this and run this to see what kind of input we get. So as you can see, when we run this, we're getting the appropriate field where the ports are listening in, and then we're just isolating this part here. And if the port is showing up, then it's either open, it's active, so it's receiving some sort of communication. So we'll appropriately put in a message saying that it's either closed or open. So let's run this one. So when we first run this, let me clear and run it again. So we see the clear input here. This is asking for an input, so let's just put 53. It'll say it's open. 80 will be closed because 80 is not being used. 53, let's say, or something like that. 53, so it's closed. Yep, that's it. That's the script. So we'll work on the Python one next. Okay, let's get started with Python 1. It will be a little longer here for Python. So Python 3, and then we will start with importing some modules. Socket. Sys and socket is they're the modules that we need. So we're going to use. So it will ensure one port is provided at least. So we'll use an if statement here. Then we'll exit with the value of 1. And then we'll check if the port is TCP or not. And then we'll also check if port is UDP after. And then finally what will happen is we will use a for loop to loop through the ports. So for this one we'll use a function here, so we'll just call it check TCP. Let's keep it simple here. And then what will be passed out is the port. So we'll create a socket stream here. If inet, then socket sock stream. So it's creates TCP socket here, and then set timeout to, let's say, 0.5. So the script doesn't run longer. So, and then we're just gonna put results. So we'll attempt to connect to the TCP port here. So we're gonna pass in the localhost IP address. You could have also done this. You could have have something like here to the argument. One of the argument, could have been like a remote IP address. We could have checked also remote IP address. We could have done that also. So let's see here, and then we're going to put port here, and then make sure our results are closed here. Actually needs to be in another back bracket here. And then we'll close the socket after. Return true if the connection is successful. Let's put this as result, not results. Yeah, so that's our TCP. So UDP is going to be this, well, similar. So just gonna copy paste this over, and then it's not socket, it's socket. So for this one, it'll be datagram packet, UDP packet here. So dgram. So let's see. Let's check the other one here. We'll also need to add a try statement before we do this. So after we create the UDP socket, we need to put in a try statement, and then we need to try to bind. Actually, it is is different than the TCP one. So we have to try to bind to this one. Actually, not this here. It's gonna be to remove this. So if the bind succeeds, so it'll attempt to bind, and if it succeeds, no process is using the port, so it'll close it. So we're gonna return false here. And then gonna catch the exception here. And return true. Okay, so if it can't bind to the port, then it's obviously closed. But if it can bind to the port socket, then it is it'll attempt to bind UDP socket to the port. So if the bind succeeds, no process is using the port. But if the bind fails, that means the port is in use. So that means it's open, as in we can detect it. So that's why we are returning true. Let's see, always error. There's an class always error. I forgot this. Let's save this, and then going to go to our for loop here. We're going to convert it to int integer. So we'll convert. and then we'll check the port. So it'll be open if check TCP, then we're gonna put port, it succeeds, else is closed. The same thing for this one. UDP status. And then we'll print results. That's it. So it'll first we're checking, and then we're saving the variable, like whether it's not open or closed, in a variable, and then we're just displaying the variable in the results. And then we'll also need to comment to this, so we'll try to, so if it succeeds, so attempts to bind, if successful, port is closed. No process is using the port, but if unsuccessful, port is in use. Accepting connection. Okay, yeah, so I think we're good here. So we'll try to run this. As you can see, port 53 is open. Let's do 80. It should be closed. Okay, so the issue is here. I'm checking TCP again and again, so it'll be UDP, not TCP. So TCP, sorry, UDP, sorry. Okay, let's see. Let's run this. Let me actually clear this, then let's run it. Run it without anything. It should give us the usage, and then if we put in, let's say 53, it'll say okay, we made a mistake here also. So UDP, let's try it. So P3 is open, and then if we put, let's say 53, UDP is open, and then TCP is open also. That is weird. Let's see, why is it saying that? Okay, I changed this, but let's change it back here. Return result. as you can see, it's closed, and then UDP is open. Because UDP, most of the UDP ports are actually open in the system, so this TCP is the one that needs to be, needs to be checked. And let's do multiple 53, 80 perhaps. As you can see, if you put multiple ports, it also shows you the status of those ports. Alright, so that's it. So thanks a lot for joining. What I'll do is I will put these scripts up in a GitHub repository somewhere. Like, I'm actually working on that. I just have to upload it to GitHub at some point, and I'll link it, link the GitHub pages. I added like a website that kind of gets served by the GitHub pages, so it's in a very nice visual format. You can just go in, copy paste the code, and try it in your machine. I'd also suggest just expanding, right? Like, if as you're going through this script, just maybe expand on them. Like this one, as you can see, is dividing things up by UDP and TCP. Maybe you can do something like that. You can, in Bash, you can display if it's TCP, and you can display if it's UDP, just like this one. Something, if you are bored, you can probably try doing that, kind of extend the scripts. All right, thanks for joining. Have a nice day.